welcome to the next edition of Storm King's Thunder. I have to drag through my memory to try and remember what we did last time. The party had arrived at Yartar just previous to the last session. And we stopped just before you had walked into the doors of the embassy. So this session you'd gone in, you met with Sun Chen, who is the aide-de-camp to Athesto, our ambassador. Brief discussion with her that evening about a few matters relating to what is happening in Yartar, the situation with the city and with the water baron who runs the city. Also, of course, there was some interaction with Susan, Otto's young daughter with exceptional magical talent. The conversation went relatively pear-shaped when Otto stormed out and left.
Hey, it went better than I thought it would.
Yeah. But I think things were sort of patched over between him and Sun Chen by the end of the evening when you returned, and there was a brief conversation between the two of you. And we left with the party heading out into town from memory. You were looking for some information. Actually, how about you guys tell me where you were and what you were doing particularly at Thesto? It seems me not remembering exactly.
I believe that Kit and I were on our way to see the Water Baron to gather more information, and we had a...
Were you with us as well?
Yeah.
I'm just looking notes.
I was going back to a
Doesn't
blacksmith.
say, but it does ring a bell.
I know there was three of us, and I'm pretty sure Isfael had gone to go play with Susan.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
It actually works in perfectly.
It does.
Hence, yes, everybody know it's about here.
Yeah.
but yes, I believe so. Yes, because I came back. Yeah, I came back from trying to get sending stones, and then there was the talk of going to the Baron.
Yes.
And meanwhile, Otto had gone to one of the blacksmiths in town, where you'd sought out a way to express some gratitude to the god Moradin, who you were told had helped with your restoration to life. Why is it seems that every D&D game I play, Moradin's never far away?
Because you love your dwarves.
You love your dwarves.
Dwarf biases.
Dwarf life matter, mate.
No,
No, actually.
it's not. That's not.
Let's
Make jokes about
edit
that.
that bit out later.
Fix it in post.
Yeah. So, with Isfael off taking care of Susan, investigating a little bit of what her abilities are, it heads over to you all to where you are heading now, to the Water Baron's Hall, and you were heading back to the blacksmith, I think, weren't you?
This is my
This is the next day, from memory.
next day.
Kit, you were, from memory, about to do something.
I don't. We hadn't left the embassy yet. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think you were planning on heading.
We were
You,
planning.
So
you just finished breakfast.
is it going to be? Yeah, because we've been talking with Colbaz as well
Yes.
about it. Is it going to be more of an impact for me to storm out of the Water Baron's place in a huff, or is it more of a huff if I storm away from you guys in the street? I think from the Water Baron is probably better, because if anyone's keeping an eye on the Water Baron,
Well,
they're going to see it, and
there's no guarantee that anyone's going to be watching us, so...
no, and it could be both.
True.
I mean, who's to say that there isn't a spy in the Water Baron's ranks?
Who's to say the Water Baron isn't a spy?
Well, I mean, this sounds
Spy.
very...
The ultimate cover!
Spies all the way down.
So it says that...
Goes all the way to the top.
Colbaz said that there is, people are not happy with the Water Baron, wasn't it?
Yes, they're creating some dissension in the ranks.
Yeah. That's right. Unrest. And so forth.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
I voted no confidence in Water Baron's leadership. I think we should elect Palpatine instead.
Well, I mean, I'm not personally acquainted with Water Baron, so I mean, whoever's going to help us is probably more my vote.
Alright, well, let's go.
Roll me a history.
Zero about that. That's right. Oh yeah, that's a +0.
Is it negative?
14.
You would recall actually meeting, well, not necessarily meeting, but having been in close contact with the Water Baron once before. Nestra, her name is. When you were quite relatively young, probably about 5, 6, 10 years ago. I can't remember how old you are.
Neither do I.
It's probably one of the banquets your father would have taken you along to, as a member of the Lord's Alliance. You would have seen her as well as some of the Master Lords of Waterdeep and so on in the far distance, but you have heard of her.
Yeah.
And I remember she was spoken of
I was
pretty
too
well.
busy chasing girls, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I keep that. I just get
And
that
one.
information myself. Yeah. Well, so you want to go in, cause a sort of scene, denounce the Waterlord, and then
Just sort of be annoyed at her uselessness, maybe.
does she?
What?
Is she useless?
No, but there's people that think she is, so
Right.
they're the ones whose attention I want in a good way.
Now, I don't want to mess anything up. You've got quite the nice setup here. I mean, an embassy.
Yeah.
So, we want to be on the Baron's good side.
Yeah, we could tell the Baron we're doing it.
Yeah. So, can we?
That's what I said. Like we should tell them, go talk to the Baron, tell her the plan, and then ask permission for me to punch one of her guards on the way out, and that should get some people's attention.
It would need to be a meeting with just us and the Baron is the only thing.
I mean,
if it's with other people, we can't guarantee that the plan won't be.
Who knows how thick the walls are? Anyway, I'll wing it. It'll be fine. I've never done anything like this before.
To be fair, neither have I.
But I'm sure I'll be great.
Well, I have some.
It's
I have some useful skills in
it's
politics.
It's
I believe.
just another
I can
stage,
help.
isn't it? Deception is just a type of acting.
Oh yes. I mean, I would know. But yes, let's try.
All right. Let's go to the Water Barons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let's.
What are you doing at this time, Otto?
I've left earlier and I already made my way. I know the blacksmith opens early and I wanted to be there on time.
Yep. As you sort of get in, you can hear the banging of the forge in the back of the. You just wander around and you sort of poke. You sort of look around the corner of the door. You hear a similar sort of
It's the
conversation.
same every morning. Instead of just walking in, it's like, what's really going on in there? Yeah.
Why the hell did you put it this time? Seriously.
It's gone. It's Irish now?
No, I don't know what it is. All right. Hello, you again.
Yes. I'm ready. What is it today?
Well, we can start with getting the forge worked up.
You don't need help looking for whatever's misplaced?
Nope, you'll get all the help you need.
Okay. I go
Look,
and
it needs to be lit, needs to be pumped,
Yep.
needs to be warmed up.
I do what I did yesterday. I'll go through the motions.
As you sort of put everything together, start lighting up the forge, you walk around to one side to put down some of the materials you had, and you notice the bellows are just moving. Yeah, all right, enough of that. Let him do it. What?
Nothing. Okay. Start pumping the belly.
Alright. He sort of disappears out to the front of the shop. Leaves you probably for about half an hour or so. Till everything's
Do my best to just keep pumping the bell as
Quite
I'm
hot.
told to do anything else.
walks like, oh, yep, smells good to me. Right. What was it you wanted to make after all?
I don't know. You just said to bring something that I could reforge or I pull a silver dagger out of my pack. Is this?
Well, yeah, a bit complicated, but yep, we can do that.
Complicated?
Well, it's silvered, so it probably won't be silvered by the time you finish it.
But what happens to the silver?
Well, just a dross left in the forge.
Is that a good thing? Is that like a nice offering of like? I still don't know how it works. I'm sorry.
Honestly, that's not bad. Leave the silver in the forge, take away the bare knife. Alright, let's get to work. And he starts showing you a few examples of how to de-hilt the dagger. Taking the pommel off sort of indicates that these different aspects that need to be put together for it to hold. This will take you majority of the day. As the day progresses through, it shows you how to heat it, recast it, melts it down. You can tell that the silver is basically just left on the top of the molten metal that he basically scoops off and leaves into the forge. Or encourages you to probably just scoop it off and leave it into the forge. And by the end of the day, you have a reasonably good, rough, but reasonably good steel dagger. He doesn't do much of the actual crafting himself. He just tells you, leaves it to you. He doesn't look overly impressed with the job you've done, suggesting you probably need a good 300 years more training before he'd consider even apprenticing you.
How's he supposed to get experience if you won't let him get experience?
Start as a kid, work way all the way to your 350th birthday.
I don't.
Then you can start getting minimum wage.
I don't.
Entry
think I have
level,
that many
entry
years
level,
in me.
100 years experience required.
Yeah.
Just sounds like modern day jobs.
Yeah. I don't
Willing
think
to
I
accept
have that
junior
many
wages.
years in me.
Looking for a young person
Yeah,
with
that's
experience.
Well, you've done as good a job as you can.
Thank you. I think.
I like those ones with needs 5 years experience in this. And it's
do I need to do anything else
I made that program
with it?
3 years ago.
It's up to
Auto
you.
like checks the edge and it's like I imagine dollars.
It's sharp,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's you're not entirely sure how long it will stay sharp.
Yeah.
Keep it. Use it as a reminder.
Yes. Yes, or if I come across another basilisk. Is this something I should do regularly, or is this it? Is this I'm done now?
You're never done. He's given you a whole new life.
But it's like it's
But
not
you-
so much a surprise to Otto as like a right. Thought so.
He wanders out the back of the forge and starts pointing out. Look at that, and that, all those cathedrals and rubbish everywhere. People go and worship there every day for doing nothing. They haven't been given anything. They haven't been given a new life. They're worshipping for hope.
Yes, I never really saw the point.
Well, you've got something to be thankful for. Ever you get the chance, make sure you do it.
Thank you. I will. Yes.
Alright, so you're buying anything?
Well, that was my next question. If you needed anything, like, how's the coal going?
Oh, well, we've got a shortage, you know that.
Yes. Right.
If you can get any for me, much appreciated.
I'll see what I can do. Buy something. What is actually?
Armour and weapons. Lots of armour and weapons.
Okay.
Because if you ain't buying, piss off. You've got work to do.
Okay.
Good time.
I don't currently need anything, and I did make a whole new knife.
Well, Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you again when I'm back in town.
Most likely.
Right. I'll leave you to it then.
Good. All right. And just turns on his heel, walks back into the forge. Doesn't look back.
Otto, as he's travelling back to the embassy, he's paying a little bit more attention to all the cathedrals and things that he's never really bothered looking at before.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a realisation setting in.
Yep. This is probably about 6 o'clock at night now for you. So 9 o'clock in the morning.
Now to step back in time.
Yeah. Earlier that day.
Wibbly wibbly. Transition effect.
A few hours later.
Earlier that day.
So, what do you all?
And then I said to Daddy, look, if you are going... Always a good transition.
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to take more slaves, maybe get suitable conditions for the first ones, because then they wouldn't die so quickly.
Oh, not a great topic to pick up on.
I'll be behind these two anyway, looking like I don't want to be there. Even more, even probably more so now.
Yeah.
Now I look like I don't want to be there.
Even complete strangers walking down the street who only have barely seen you once stop and go, and look a kid, and let's keep going.
Mr. Oblivious.
Oh, Mr. Witherkey wasn't here, was he? No, that's right.
Alright, Valis.
Witherloot. That's right.
Oh,
With Andy.
Joffrey with a loot.
With
with
Andy.
Andalute.
With Andy.
I appreciate your banter, but maybe when we get to the Water Baron, you just don't speak.
Why not?
Your particular lands and your particular subjects, the way that your father, and I'm not entirely sure about your brother, run their lands is their business, but
I have nothing to do with that.
I know, because you're here and.
And once I get to
there
once I get to my lands, I will most certainly rule it a different way.
Good to know.
Well, I'll let you take point then, and
we just get on with this so we can go about doing something useful.
yes. I'm sure we'll get to stopping the Fire Duke from blowing into his conch.
Make that sound a lot more sexual than it actually is. I don't see the Water Baron's not going to be able to help us with that. I don't see the point in this. Let's just get it over and done with.
It was your
Look,
idea.
Kit, you have made your qualms with the Water Baron abundantly known to us, but this is something we have to do. We have to go and
some small petty revenge. Oh, this is more juice. I'm in now. I mean, even more.
look. We just need to go and talk to her for a couple of minutes. You can deal with it for that long.
And then you can storm out in a half. It'll be glorious.
Beautiful thing is I'm actually just picturing you guys going.
I'm a performer.
Yeah.
This big armoured guy being like,
So yeah, after about 20 minutes of walking and jovial conversation, you get to the outside of the Water Baron's encampment, enclave, palace.
area.
Tower.
I did call it. I think it might have been a manor actually.
It was up in the rich area. I know that much.
Yes,
it was up the hill.
up in the top, the northeastern corner of the city. You recognise it. You've all you guys have been there before.
Yeah, several times.
But it's kind of you can't really miss it with the Hands of Yartar, the city watch, standing around the outside, only about 6 or so, obviously guarding, similar to what you would have recognised from last time. And as you approach, halberds across the door, name and business.
Athesto Hirimoto of the Kozukura Embassy.
Mr. Ambassador.
We're here to speak with the Water Baron. We've just gotten into town the other day.
she's slightly indisposed.
Great, let's go. Let's go do something more useful. Maybe we could, I don't know, pick up cow shit. That'd be more useful than talking to the water baron.
Oh, that's easy there.
Sorry, excuse me?
I have no idea what accent this person is anymore.
I wasn't talking to you. Can you mind your own business, please?
Don't go disrespecting the water baron.
Kent, that is enough.
At least just don't do it
I think
right in front of my face.
I'm pretty sure her actions dishonour herself. Or her lack of actions, I guess.
Mr. Ambassador, do you vouch for him?
Not at all.
You'd be best advised, sir, to quieten your tongue regarding the water baron and her noble role in leading this city.
I'm going to go have a drink.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Oh, I haven't heard enough. Sorry, what's she saying?
I'm walking off.
Apologies.
She's bloody useless.
The guard you were talking to looks over a couple of the others.
Apologies about my compatriot. We've heard a couple of rumours. I express that word with all due with everything that I've got there. Can't think of my words today. I can't think of sentences. Sorry, I'm very tired. With all due gravity, that it is rumours.
And what are these rumours?
That,
Why is this guy turning into a bloody Australian?
Pretty sure he was like
pissed off.
Pretty sure he was English, and
Yeah,
then
no.
he was Irish, and now he's Australian.
No, I'll come back to the bill. Alright, so what are these rumours then?
Oh, just nothing of substance. Just people saying about how the water baron has failed the city,
And this is coming from who?
Batman.
for the most part, they were all heard in passing.
Well, thank you for letting us know. We'll make sure we keep our ear to the ground about what's going on here. We've had some...
Bloody useless. Depends how far away I am.
You just turned into a Monty Python character. Yeah, well, if you do hear anything, we'll always be appreciative of any information.
Of course, the water baron is my ally.
Indeed.
And speaking of information,
And you are, sir?
Valis, yes, just here on assisting with the ambassador here. Now, we have important information we need to, bring forth to the water baron. And also, I believe she would like to see us. It's something of urgent importance.
Roll me a persuasion. Just a charisma-based character.
What has the water baron ever done for us?
Yes, but besides all those...
Besides the roads,
23.
sanitation. What have they done for us lately?
Come to the violence
Well-
of the sister.
Found this spoon, sir.
She did say she didn't want to be interrupted today at all, but
I
since
mean,
you're with the ambassador and you have information that...
it's very prudent to the giants and the whole
Alright,
scenario that's happening there. Got a twitch, sorry.
yeah, it's
Just sustained it in the last battle.
the pollen in the air.
No, we had a temple fall on us.
You what, yeah?
Had a temple fall on us. Just one of the giant temples.
Got a bit of temple in my eye.
Sustained, one of our compatriots sustained a heavy wound to the face. My goodness, it was...
Oh, like a real... How the bloody hell did the temple fall in?
We see we're fighting. Again, this is news that we must get to the war.
Yeah, of course.
She'll inform you
look,
once we have.
Well,
It's a design flaw. All the temples are horribly unsafe.
I'm just looking at Valis, just going like, you can just see it in my face, like I wanted you to shut up, but you've done a good job, and I don't want to.
As he's giving you this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there shaking my head at you, just like,
Well,
Yes, please. Sorry.
well, it's about giants. That yeah.
Dutiful work, Jen. Ambassador.
Thank you, Valis. Step on through.
Yep. You would remember the other side, quite a large open, waiting sort of area. Old lady behind the desk who looks up. All right, who are you again?
Thesto Hiromoto of the Kozukura Embassy.
Spell that.
A-T-H. I spelled my name.
Boo.
Cheat.
Yep.
And
Valis. Are we going by a full title here?
yes,
Yes. Valis, the will of change.
the will of change,
Yes. Do you need the proper spelling on that one? I can give.
not the wind of change.
No, sorry. That might be you, dear.
What?
Oh goodness. She's not far off.
Will of change. So Will and a Thesto. Yeah. Look,
No,
just
sorry. Let me just help you there. So it's Valus, V-A-L-U-S. The title is The Will of Change.
Valus the will
Of
of
Change.
change.
Willow change.
Willow Change.
You're like a tree
Real
ant or something.
change.
All right. Well, just
You were
take
druid.
take a seat in the waiting room. You'll be called in when you're ready to see.
Maybe put through.
Nesta.
Maybe put through that this is a urgent emergency meeting. The ambassador himself of the Kuzukura embassy is here, and we have vital information with the whole giants.
Very well. You see, put an asterisk.
Maybe make that too.
Very important.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Gladys. Ambassador.
Go and sit down. Many little chairs. I was half expecting her then to just go, how do you know my name?
I was going to, but I think I've already given her a name. So
Valus, the will of change, gives names
Only because he can't remember them.
because he doesn't remember them.
Or no, doesn't want to.
Shit.
It's a waste of time.
How many are following me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I do.
Gotta say, they must have rolled real high on their sneak. The DM doesn't know.
With my passive perception of 23.
Still not enough, unfortunately. Wow. As far as you can tell, it was two of the guards are following you, but not in guard uniform. And so, like, two left following behind you, and they've gone back, but there are another two. That's, with your ridiculous passive perception, they look like normal commoners, but the way they're walking, you can tell they're used to wearing full armour.
Cool, I'm gonna...
It's like when you see a farmer walking without his gumboots. You can always tell he actually wears gumboots.
Is there like an alley I can turn into?
You're not a
I
magician.
was going to say, do you polymorph that lion?
Side street?
Yes. Which direction are you heading? So you're leaving the northeast
I'm
quarter.
heading towards the central area.
To the south, directly to the south of where you are is the fish yards. Back towards where you came is into the market area where the embassy is.
Yeah.
And then further to the west
I might
is
head-
where the docks are.
I might head to the fish yards. I haven't been to the fish yards before, so that'd be fun. South, he said.
No, you haven't. Yep. Because the river runs
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I might head
No,
that
one
way.
half.
And I just want to duck behind a building to get out of sight of these people that I realise are following me.
Make up your mind. Do you want to
You're
turn into
getting-
an alley or a duck?
As you head into this area, the smell is quite pungent.
There are buildings in this area. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
They're buildings, but mainly wooden structures, quite poor sort of standard.
Oh my god. Okay. Are they going to take my weight if I climb on top of them?
The buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think
Okay.
so, but what they are is
I think so.
you can think
all
of
I
how
know.
the bottom stories sort of come up, then the next story's been built out. So the further you go into this area, the more closed over you seem to be. There's less and less sky. Everything's quite dark. You can tell the difference in the clothing that people are wearing. Far scummier, but also... Roll me perception, actually.
How you know that fish is fresh? You can smell it.
15.
15. Pretty certain that was below. Yeah. I just sort of duck down one alleyway, then across through to another one.
Well, I want to go into an alleyway out of line of sight and then up a building.
As you head straight into that alleyway, you're sort of hearing the footsteps behind you. And you don't need to roll acrobatics to do your climbing like that, do you? You just...
I'm running up the wall.
Vertical.
I will get you to roll me in acrobatics, but with advantage because of how they're hungover.
Oh, I would have
So
been
you
looking
sort
for
of-
one that
Have they
was
been
less
drinking too
hungover.
much?
Yep.
That's why I was asking. Like that's what I've been keeping. an eye
They're
out
not
for.
enough that you can't get up and just throw a handhold and launch yourself up to the next section pretty easily.
22.
No problem. Basically, as you go up the wall, where the hungover bit is, you sort of just grab with your hand and flick yourself up to the next level quite easily.
Then I'm going a back track,
Along the roofs.
just along that roof.
Yep.
And wait till they've passed in and turn, and then drop down the other side and then walk back the way I came.
You wait, and probably only about a minute, 2 minutes later, you see the same two walk round the corner into the alleyway, get about 10 steps down and just stop, looking around, then speed up to try and get to the end of the alley. Probably assuming that you've raced on ahead, so they're going to try and get down a little bit further.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even waited to watch them.
Yep.
I would have once they've turned in and gone and given them a couple of seconds. I would have dropped back down the other side of the building and walked back to head towards the market,
Yep. So
leaving the fish district.
Yep. So dropping straight down.
As long as it's within
Yeah. It's,
within my slow fall distance
Mate,
of 90 feet.
I just want to
Yeah.
say it's mispronounced. It's a Fish Street.
Fish Street.
Fish Street. Server district.
How long a break do you think you took from going up to dropping back down again?
Well, I would have gone up, waited till I heard them come into the alley, walked across the building, slowly, quietly, and then dropped down the other side and then walked.
As you drop down, sort of, you notice there's only a couple of people. Are you waiting for anyone for the alley, for the main area to be empty, or you just
No.
drop straight
No.
down? Cool. As you do, you notice there's a kid on the street, sort of just sitting there in the corner. Looks like it's only got one arm, with a bowl sitting in front of him, just looking at you from the roof to dropping down. He just doesn't say anything, sort of just...
I drop a gold coin in his bowl.
He's going to go buy a business of that.
A big
No.
spender.
Declare it.
You,
You didn't say anything, did you?
see what, sir?
Exactly. Hello.
You won't spend too much time here doing that, and the gold coin disappears. Quickly, kid grabs it. People will see that.
See what?
Just smiles.
Alright. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
I'll leave. I'm heading to the market.
Heading back to the market.
Yep. I'm going to go find a tavern around there.
Roll me another perception.
You're now being followed by street urchins.
The natural one gives me 8. No, 9.
Cool.
You're about to get mugged.
Oh, because I won't be able to handle that.
Getting mugged by children.
Fucking stunning strikes 4 kids in the first round.
Unfortunately, there's 80 of them. They all do 5 damage.
Sea urchins. Sorry.
They're a bunch of pricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you head back into the market square that you recognise quite well now. You know, the layout, Kurakara Embassy on one side of it.
Yeah, I'm not going near
There's a gate, sort of on one side of the market square, with a large Goliath sort of leaning up against it.
Yeah.
Gate that goes to nowhere.
Is there any
Goliath?
like I know where the cat bar is, but are there any other bars and taverns?
Yeah.
It's probably on the
cat bar.
I like the
probably
Kipper.
probably on the edge of the market district, not on the rich side though. Like,
Yep. Let me find where I actually saved that.
Yeah,
I
to
can
make
never
sure no
have
one
too many
pushes you, you
things.
might lose your head.
I think I'm trying to make a show of not being seen.
The
Make
importance of
make a show of trying to evade a tail while hoping that if anyone else is tailing me, they're noticing me try to evade the tail.
Yeah. There is 6 major taverns around there, 'cause this is quite a big city.
Yeah.
Take your choice from the Pale Sun, which is a pretty rough-looking sort of bar. The Iron Mug Inn, which is very much, you can see, is a working bar. The Southern Bow Pub, which is, we mainly see as frequented by elves. You would assume from the writing, and as you sort of just glance past it, the wine behind the bar. The Icy Keg Tavern House, which basically big beer hall. See performers, stage and everything set up on the inside of it. The Sleeping Bard Mead Hall, which again very much done for performance. And
I
the
might
last
just go to
one-
that first one.
You're making me go back to that again. That
That's-
was the Pale Sun.
Yeah, it sounded like it would be on the outskirts of the market.
Yep.
By the sounds of it, so I'll go to that one.
Cool. Okay, as you head in, you're going in, I'm sure.
Yep.
It's pretty much dirty, grotty. Floors are basically covered in what looks to be sawdust. There's probably about 12 people in there, of various ethnicities and races and backgrounds and level. I don't know. Behind the bar is quite a large older woman. Large, I don't mean as... No, I'm going to say literally big boned.
Rotund.
You'd probably think that she's at least half Goliath. Long grey hair. So, you know she's not full, but she sort of just looks at you and just half snarls. She looks you up and down.
But as soon as I enter, I'm going to take a moment and then look back out the door the way I came, see if I can see anyone that's followed me.
Roll my perception.
It's more about making a show of looking for someone
Yep.
than actually finding it. 13.
13. You look out, there's a range of people going through the market. It looks like there's what looks to be a caravan has just come in. So there's a bit of a noise, a hubbub around these carts as they come to the market square, but it's nothing out of the ordinary you can see.
Cool, I'll go up to the bar.
You sure you got the right place?
You serve alcohol?
Yep.
Then I got the right place.
Alright. What do you want?
I
Hard? or
Ale.
easy it is. And she pulls out a wooden tankard and just wipes the inside with a hand onto her apron. Pours it in.
Awesome.
2 copper.
Throw a 2 copper. I'll sit 2 copper on the bar. I'm going to sort of. I'm assuming is there like a stools at the bar?
Yeah, there's a few stools at the bar. The bar itself sort of runs down the right hand side when you walk in. And all along the rest of the wall, so directly in front of you around to the left, are all booths. Very dimly lit. You can see there's like just one candle on each table. A few of them have figures in there. You can't really tell the details of faces or anything like that. It's quite poorly lit. And the people, I mean, even though you've got dark vision, the people who are there have either sort of put their hands up as you've walked in, or they've got cloaks down over their faces.
Is there any empty booths?
It's 4.
I'm going to take one as far away from the door as possible and sit so I can watch the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to blow the candle out on my booth.
Cool. Hephaestus.
That man there's known as Strider.
Exactly.
Yep.
Disappear entirely. That's a neat trick.
Hephaestus. Will. I've changed.
There we go.
My total.
After probably a longer wait than what you really wanted, enough for you to start actually getting. Should we just go? Doors open opposite the waiting room. Big double oak doors, iron strips that you recognise as Water Baron's chambers, meeting chambers. Two figures walk out, sort of hushed discussion with each other. Very, very well dressed. And a while later you hear, of course, Water Baron. We will deal with any of these problems, whatever it is, it will be solved. And 3 more figures come out. Not dressed in the usual garb of people from Yartar. More of I want to say Oriental, but that's not really, more from the south, southwest. What you would recognise, at least anyway. You probably not so much. One in particular, though, you do recognise has an octopus on his shoulder. Pet octopus.
I recognise this.
Even though you were quite inebriated at the time, you would probably remember him handing you chips at the Grand Dame casino. And they just walk past and out. And one of the guards comes out. You're here to see the Water Baron?
Should have made
Yes,
a puff when I was in
indeed.
Come on.
Walk along behind the guard.
Your Grace, the ambassador from the Kurikaza embassy, and the will of change.
Yeah, Valis, the will of change.
Really? You go by that?
Yes.
Yes,
What do
he
you go by?
does.
Titles are important.
Fuck! I've never stuck for names.
Henry.
That's
All
probably
right.
because you've got.
Yes.
It's already got names, but you just can't remember what they are. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Walks out, door shut behind you. You see still a couple of people in there. The Water Baron. Lady Nestra is sitting at the table at the far end, sort of raised up on a dais. And you recognise there's tables around you as well. So you're basically encircled by three quarters encircled by tables, with the end tables where Lady Nestra is raised higher. There's 2 people at the lower tables to her right and left. You probably tell the scribes are busily writing down notes and comparing pieces of paper from the last meeting. She looks up.
Can we like get it?
My
Mr.
lady.
Hirimoto.
Harry
Hirimoto.
Yes, we have returned.
Yes.
With some good news and some bad.
Returned
But,
several times.
Well, bad news first. It seems to be all but getting.
Well, in that case, name the dragon that we fought. Who was the...
Ilrith?
Ilmrith. Ilmrith appears to be somehow involved with the giants.
Involved with the giants or involved with you?
Well, both now.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Why not both?
Well, from memory, you I had sent you out to deal with her threat
Yes,
in
well,
the desert. Anyway,
the threat came to us.
Had she?
Yes.
yeah, because it was preventing trade between.
We haven't got that far yet.
Well, the threat
That was
somewhat beat us
way later.
to it. It came to us instead.
I believe that you had headed into the desert though.
Yes, and we dealt with her. We had dealt with her 2 sons. Which is probably why she ended up coming after us, but we didn't.
Don't assume their gender.
Yeah, that's totally assumed that.
I thought we.
No,
I thought
they're
that.
children, offspring.
Oh, they only ever referred to as children. I thought that what's his name had actually said that they were her sons.
I thought there was mention of that they were her sons somewhere. May have been out of game.
They actually are her sons, but I don't remember.
Anyway.
Mentioned. Regardless, yeah.
Yes, we had a bit of a run-in with them, but we never actually came into contact with her.
Until now.
Yes, until...
And you are.
Well, if anyone would care to read the paper,
Valis.
Valis, the Wheel of Change.
Valis is fine.
Your fine titles are lovely. Where are you from?
Well, that's just further down south in undisclosed location. Don't know yet.
That's right. We actually have that written down, don't we? Yeah.
Yes. Just helping, quell the giant sort of uproar, and then once...
You're a long way from home, boy.
Yes, I know. I could leave if you like, and you could try and deal with this.
No, I mean
It
just
seems like you need every hand on deck right now.
well. The hands we do have on deck aren't necessarily useful, so anything that is useful, I would appreciate it.
So, Water Baron, useless.
So, Ambassador,
The good news, indeed. I'm assuming you would like to hear next.
well, I'd like to see the culmination of the bad news.
Well, Ilmrith attacked us in the Old Father's temple.
Well, she must have changed her mind if you're still here.
No, the mountain fell on her.
I'm sorry.
Well, you see, it was simply that we were holding
Phil
her
makes it sound
at
like it was an
bay.
accident.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
does, doesn't it?
A compatriot of ours, who gallantly sacrificed himself, proceeded to desecrate the temple, which then caused it to collapse. We escaped with our lives, and
Some of us escaped with our lives. We've had to...
You've
have
lost members of your party?
For a brief amount of time,
Found him again.
thanks to the dwarves, but we shan't go into that.
that is business that you don't need to know of.
Well, I'm sure that I will hear if it's from any of our alliance cities. Yes.
Yes.
Well, that threat seems to be dealt with. How's that bad news?
I wouldn't suggest that that she's completely dealt with. She was a formidable foe.
Suffice to say, a dragon of that
Caliber.
age has probably gotten that way because they have been hard to kill. I would safely bet that a mountain falling on her is not enough.
Well, I would implore you, if you find any more information, to let me know
Yes.
forthwith.
The other issue with that is that it does appear that she is the one pulling the strings with some of the giants.
How do we know this? And how is a giant getting infiltrated by
Well,
They're enemies. They hate each other.
Yes, they do. But when Ilmarith is able to change her appearance, and when the Allfather has, or when the king is gone, spirited away somewhere, held captive, and she is able to instigate rivalries between the siblings.
So we believe that she was responsible for the king disappearing.
Well, either she is responsible for it, or she is making use of the current situation.
A crafty one like her most certainly has her dirty claws in this somehow, but I'm sure she's most likely pulling the strings behind the scenes.
This is important information. Please, take this down. And Scribes looks up. That's what
That's my
what the fuck
job.
do you think I'm doing? Keeps writing.
Yeah, I don't remember the Water Baron being such an arrogant bitch.
Shit's changed.
Yeah.
She's having a pretty rough
You
time.
know,
at
it's
the
been a
moment.
while though.
Well, the good news then, Mr. Ambassador.
The good news is that we have found a way to potentially get to the King of the Giants.
Excellent. How?
Apparently the lords of the different races, I guess, of the Giants, all have these conches that, when used, will transport us to his lordship's halls.
And
We have the information on where to find the Fire Lord. Fire Giant Lord.
Duke Zolto.
Yes.
This is indeed good news. So you believe that each of the giant lords has this conch?
Yes.
So the more people we send out to attack the giant lords, the more likely it is we can get to the
Please give us
the king's palace, and once we're there, we can just take them down from the inside, surely.
I do not believe it's going to be as simple as that. The only reason we know where Lord Zolto?
Yeah.
Zoltan is because we were given that information by the oracle at the Allfather's temple.
Well, in that case, we must find where the other ones are immediately. The
To
more
me-
troops we could send in, yes?
Well, you believe sending troops is going to be effective, but this conch is quite well hidden away. Indeed, to storm even Duke Zolto's palace will no doubt be quite a heavy ordeal. An assault. It will require a massive army. I do not know if you can field such troops, but to do so would most likely put a strain on your firepower.
Or combined, the alliance could. But yes, it would leave our cities undefended. And we've had enough trouble with this as it is. Water Deep even has had some incursions. So if the great city there can't always be protected, then no.
And also your talk of taking them down from the inside. I believe that this, upheaval of power that Moradin or one of those has... It's not Moradin, the Allfather. That's the giant one, isn't it? Yeah. Has brought upon the giants, and the fact that the king is missing has no doubt left their leadership scattered, and now all of these other giant types are trying to pick up the pieces and gain, status in the pecking order. If we maybe find the king, perhaps we can establish some order.
Restoring the balance, I think, is far more important than attempting something that could make things a whole lot worse.
If that can be done, yes. However, I'm afraid many of us have very grave doubts whether the giants can actually be held back now once they've been unleashed.
And your plan is to try and fight them from the inside.
Our plan is to survive right now.
Well, if you're on the back foot trying to survive, I believe an offensive trying to take them down from the inside is going to be merely detrimental to you.
Lord Neverember believes that our best defence is attack.
Well,
I'm not
yes.
entirely sure if I agree with his opinion as yet.
Well, that's splendid, because it's a terrible opinion.
He tends to be a little bit headstrong.
So I've heard.
I would suggest that whilst we have options, we don't go as far as that.
Very well.
That is, in my humble opinion.
And that is a humble one.
With that, she stands up. Join me. And she
Aren't we already?
around behind her table. It's a set of doors there. She opens it up and heads through it. As you head in there, it's quite
That would be my first threesome.
It's what you would recognise as her private study.
Yep.
Her office, books laid out, fireplace. She sits down
Rug.
in one of the 4
Big
quite
rug.
large, sort of, I'm going to say wingback chairs because that's
Fuck yeah.
how I imagine she probably has a white cat too. She pours 3 glasses of wine.
Ooh.
Breakfast.
Warming up to it, are we?
Sit
So-
down, please.
I sit, but I wait for the water baron to take her wine before I take mine.
Dallas just takes his straight up.
And she sits near the fire. So,
Did she leave the bottle there as well?
it's a
Decanter.
decanter.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's fill it up a bit more.
Shows you
The
watches.
decanter instead.
There's no shortage of wine in this campaign.
Thank God.
We've already had a shortage of wine.
So, what's your next step?
Well,
The
probably
next
just
step is
putting my right foot in front of my. Oh, sorry. Long term.
the next step is to obtain the conch, potentially taking out Lord Zoltan as well at the same time. According to what we've heard from the Oracle, they are looking at creating something called, I believe it was called Titan.
That does not sound beneficial.
No, it is something to do with these structure pieces that they've been digging up around the place.
Yes, we
Yes.
have had some incursions.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not far off completion either, which is
Then the
worrying.
sooner that
There was also talk.
Farjant is dealt with.
There was also talks of Esvale has, I guess we would call it something of a premonition, I guess, or something.
She has the Shannon.
the Shannon. She'll get sued.
Sorry,
something,
Mr. Kubrick.
something of a premonition. The old father of the tree, grandfather tree. Sorry, not old father. Grandfather tree. Burning.
What?
You left that to last.
Yes.
And is your companion acting on this premonition?
Yes, we are several weeks out now from when it is scheduled to occur.
Everything is on schedule.
Did you have the World Tree
I mean-
burning on our apocalypse
Yes.
bingo
We have the
card?
Gantt chart here.
If we just look at today's calendar,
Yeah.
there it is.
Well, this
Just
is
under
indeed
3 weeks.
Yeah.
indeed concerning if it turns out to be true, of course.
Yes, but we do have ideas in place to subvert that particular
Good.
occurrence.
Plan on showing up.
Now.
Hoping we can fix it.
How's the embassy?
Buckets of water.
The embassy is coming along nicely at the moment, although my people are somewhat on the back foot back home.
There has been some messages that have come through
Yes.
to the lords that yes, you're certainly not in a good position.
No, I am quite strapped for time.
Of course. However, much like the Victorian Liberal Party during the time of COVID-19, there are forces here wishing to take advantage of the situation to
Aye.
get some political leverage.
I have heard as much.
Who is this mysterious party you speak of?
Yes, we have heard.
It seems to have been campaigning against my position.
So we've heard.
What have you heard?
Well, to put bluntly,
Then the bird is the word.
Baron, that
Great, now I've got Peter Griffin in my head for the
Yeah.
rest of the night.
well, to be blunt, is that apparently you're useless. Just repeating the phrases that were mentioned.
I reach over and take his wine. and just like move it away.
Explain to me why you've brought someone like him here, Mr. Ambassador.
I am beginning to wonder that myself.
Like I said, my hands can go elsewhere. Well, you sound like you wish to keep up with information.
Valis, remember what I asked you outside?
Oh, when you were successfully getting us in through the gate.
Yes, before you rudely interrupted.
My apologies, I'll just go back to my wine then.
Is this rumour or your opinion?
Oh, just rumours.
Rumors.
I did my opinion of
Speculation. At best.
From whom? Cool Whip.
From Kit.
Kid. Informants amongst the what's the group that the wizard guys part of? The
Harpers.
Harpers.
You know, one of the four major factions has been D&D since
Yeah,
the
I
1970s.
Settle down, leaders.
Informants among the Harpers.
This is a fantastic vintage.
However, they have also specified that these are rumours. At best.
Well, it seems that we're...
Downright slander at
They are the
worst.
best
It is.
rumours.
Although I will let you know that we are actually have our own plans to figure out what exactly is going on. You may hear from some of your guards that Kit was speaking out against you.
that is unlike
outside.
Mr. Kit. I remember him being quite a
Didn't really speak a lot last time, I'm pretty sure.
quiet
Yes.
individual.
Indeed. The idea is that with the embassy being a neutral party at the moment, we may have eyes on us trying to garner favour within their ranks. So if Kit was to openly speak out against you, especially at the front of your wonderful house, they may try and contact him.
It's an estate.
So,
Try and drop a little compliment in there, though. Your wonderful house.
I have to be diplomatic.
You have to be a suck-up.
Yes, I do. That's what diplomats do.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be a
Yeah, I
suck-up.
have to be a suck-up, yeah.
I'd be a little bitch.
well, this does leave me in a little bit of a bind. Do I trust your word that you're doing this to flush out those who are against me? Or is just this your cover story?
If this were a cover story, why would I be telling you?
Well,
I could have just allowed the information to come down through the ranks.
Oh yeah, not far off.
not to put too fine a point on it, Mr. Ambassador, you do owe me.
I do indeed.
I
And
would
that
be very grateful. And the city would compensate any expenditure that went to your finding of who is behind these rumours. We believe, well, I believe, whoever it is wishing to weaken the Lord's Alliance as a way of setting up some other problem. The giants aren't enough.
well, I can guarantee you that you have my support.
I hope so.
Well, it would do me no good to see you thrown out. It is not within my interests or the interests of my people.
Unless Alan becomes the Baron. Or Kit becomes the Baron.
It just becomes the Baron.
Who is this Alan of which you speak?
I see where
What's
these
Kit's real
motivations are
identity?
coming from.
Very well.
You've got an embassy, but I've got a city.
Your
Please,
embassy is in my city.
You will have to excuse us if we aren't able to speak with you on a more frequent occasion, as we're not entirely sure who might be working against you.
Well, you're your cook, the boy.
Yes.
What's his name?
Timothy?
I was
Just-
thinking,
Julian, isn't it?
Julian.
Julian, yes. I'm actually just gonna. There it
Uh,
is. Thought it was over there.
Good up, Julian.
From my knowledge, young Julian has been taking some lessons from my head chef. If you have messages to pass through to us, maybe through him would be the safest way.
Oh, I love it when pieces fall into place like this.
It's almost like it was planned.
Almost like a higher power who may be writing our futures.
Often get that feeling.
excuse me, is there any more? I hold up the empty decanter.
Good Lord, man.
Just be quiet.
I've been this whole time.
A bottle of wine was 50 gold pieces.
Is that all? Is that a lot?
Where do you find your companions? Look, No, unfortunately right now there isn't any wine. There are a number of very good hotels within the town though. I do have work to do.
Yes. We will try to keep you appraised of what we discover. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Your help would be appreciated. I do remember your assistance last time you were here with what happened in the sewers.
Mm.
Hopefully it won't come to something like that.
I do hope so.
But I
as
think
well.
that's...
Sounds like a shit story.
I somehow suspected that was the tip of what's actually going on.
We did find out who was behind it, didn't we?
Which one?
Well, who he thinks behind it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Casino Man.
Yes, I'm just trying to find his
Dryland.
Yeah.
island. Did you have any information as to who might be the one against you, working against you?
I have my suspicions of about 5.
Well, we've come that it might be is it Lord Dryland.
He is on my list, yes.
Yes, that's who we've.
You would have seen him just leave earlier.
Yes, Octopus, correct? Yes.
It's a particularly slimy individual.
I do recall after being. I look down and look down at my now gone wine glass, considering we ran out and you're still doing this.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of just like,
He's squeezing a napkin.
Yes, I do recall after we were on board his casino, wasn't a particularly pleasant individual.
He plays pleasantries. He's only just returned to the city after a week away. He managed to lose the tail we put on him, so any information you can find about him, I would also be quite grateful.
Well,
However, I won't put too much of any position on you.
we will see what Kit comes back with.
If he comes back.
Yes, well,
He's starting his own criminal
Kill the
enterprise.
old
You're actually joining them.
Put too much of an imposition on you.
Well, I'll hear their offer.
Yeah. I'll hear them out. Like,
Yeah.
come on, can't be rude about these things.
well, if there's nothing else then,
Yes,
Mr.
we
Ambassador?
should return to the embassy as well.
Dallas.
I've kind of just been prodding away at things. On the shelves.
Have we met?
Have we? I'm terrible with faces, great with names.
Oh, you look like one of the boys from Waterdeep or something. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for your assistance, and I will,
Just chug down the rest of the wine.
Oh.
Great vintage. Well done.
I'll send you a bottle.
You're a-
I'm standing bow low.
She nods.
Baron,
Thank you.
Leave the room.
our ambassador. Get you through first.
And the sign.
Just as he's like walking out, I'll just sort of back to her. Relax. It's good for his
Every time now. Every time, just.
I like how we've throughout this whole campaign, there's certain keywords.
Yeah.
Lord Zoltar Zoltan.
Yeah.
For honor.
For honor. Trouble.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say,
We
the
haven't
word
actually-
of the first year I haven't actually even said.
No, I know, right?
I've worked so hard not to say that word anymore. So, Kit,
Yo.
You- on you.
damn it. Where's the tab I had for that? Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Okay.
That weather, hey.
So then Daddy said.
Daddy said.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of what I was expecting.
No, it's been cut too.
So I joined Dryland's organisation and worked my way up through ranks until I became his right hand man in our office.
This'll teach you.
I've checked my schedule though. I can fit you in between all the
Yeah,
fire
I'll
giants.
put
and
it on the
Word
map.
Tree.
Colossus,
Yeah.
not Titan.
I'll give all. And then
Like
I'll
starts
hand
at
the
end, doesn't it?
organisation off to that one-armed orphan kid in the alley.
Rags to riches,
The,
y'all.
He's already done that. He's
It's
got
missing,
a whole
it's missing
cold
some
piece.
key pieces at this point too, Red.
Hmm?
Don't forget. There's at least 2 pieces, isn't there, that we've... Or no, one at least
We had
it
one that
doesn't
we.
have.
Yeah, but then if we recall, I think I recall that there was multiple different ones they could get. They
Yeah.
didn't need to necessarily get that particular piece.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
After about, once you get into this tavern, usually few people, very few people, maybe 4 people come in throughout the half hour or so you're sitting there. They usually just seem to just walk in, nod to the bar, and head to a booth. A little while later, a drink arrives for them. No one's really paying you a lot of attention as far as you can tell.
No, making an act of laying low.
Yep. You hear a voice behind you. You're doing all you can to hide there, boy.
No.
Excuse me?
You're sitting in the dark on your own. Don't look like you belong in a place like this.
Does anyone belong in a place like this?
People some deserve to be in a place like this, but I don't think anyone really belongs.
Then I'm in the right place.
What are you looking for?
I'm not looking for anything.
Then why come to a place like this? Things tend to find people who are unaware in situations such as this.
Surely places like this are the places you come to not be found, not to find things.
You hear a movement behind you, and from the booth directly behind you, a figure comes around and sits opposite you. Black cloak over face. It's held by hands, which are covered in black gloves. They're quite elongated. You probably assume elvish. Sort of the fine sort of build of this person. So if you come to lose yourself or someone else,
Bit of both.
making quite a noise earlier, very quiet now.
Well, earlier may have been a bit rash, and now's the time for quiet.
Considering whether you did the wrong thing.
No. Just considering the noise.
Leaving the embassy, heading to the water barons, kicking up a bit of a fuss, and then finding yourself here. It's almost like you're looking for something you're not normally accustomed to.
In that I was looking for an out-of-a-way place to lay low, then yes. I'm not accustomed to laying low.
Does your companions know you're here?
That would defeat the purpose of laying low, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So it's them you're hiding from.
The world.
Looks over at the bar and leans back. And two goblets are brought over. Barkeep sort of looks at you and walks back to the bar.
I am in my traveller's clothes, which
Yeah.
would be pretty ratty by now.
Mm.
I don't look upper
You
crust
can't-
at all.
No, I
I
think
am covered in weaponry though.
Yeah, I think you got a feeling this is more that
They have a usual clientele.
you're not local.
You're not a regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what that's like.
Mm.
I know what that's like being the bartender in that situation.
Yeah. Please, drink.
Drink.
I pick up the goblet. Still, you can only basically see the bottom half
I
of their face.
I drink.
It's a very
Drank.
bitter, strong, sort of, you believe it's something fermented like a wine, but it's like it's been brewed out of, it's almost like overbrewed tea. It's got that bitter tannin to it.
I see the washing's been done. The laundry's been done recently.
Well, you spend so long underground, there's not really chance for the finer vines to grow. But it is something I grew accustomed to.
Alright.
So, tell me something, boy. Are you wishing to start trouble, or are you just
Trouble?
hoping to get involved? Fuck!
There it is.
I think we have to do a shot every time I say it.
Sorry, can you repeat the sentence?
No, sorry. So is this is it trouble you're looking to get involved with, or trouble you're wishing to start? Oh, come on, we're not.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do. Trouble seems to follow. I've got a whole list of trouble that needs sorting out.
You seen my map?
But right here, right now, that's the world, and I'm here.
When you're not staying at the beautiful homestead that the Water Baron gave you.
No, she gave it to the
No.
ambassador.
Ah, you're not as close as what you appear from outside views. That's what it was.
I'm sure if you've been watching the place, you see that I don't actually sleep in the lovely building.
No,
I sleep out the back.
treated like a servant, really, aren't you?
A little bit. Sometimes. There seems to be lots of demands on what I need to be doing. Not a lot of getting to do what I want to do.
And what is it you want to do?
Well, I haven't had a chance to think on that.
No.
So maybe what I want to do is have the time to figure out what I want to do.
I don't mean to interrupt your thinking, but doing whatever you want to do is what I do best.
What you mean? You do what you want to do, or you facilitate other people doing what they want to do?
Well, rules and governances and decrees and laws seem to just get in the way, really. There's more fun to be had on the outside of those things. And that's where I tend to spend most of my time, my world.
Underground.
Underground is where I was born, where I lived till I left. Now, I hide in the shadows.
I was born in the dark. You merely adopted it.
So much Batman tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I give you permission to try.
I tend to prefer the shadows until people start shining lights in them. That's not what you're trying to do, is it? It's my real concern.
Shadows have their uses. Lights have their uses. That in-between spot, like Twilight, that has its uses.
It does indeed.
It's got to be balance in all things.
Does there?
Well, this situation with the Giants proves that.
The situation with the Giants is just an opportunity. While those who believe they're in power are doing what they can to protect us,
Well,
that leaves...
I don't think anyone in power is doing a very good job of protecting anybody at the moment. It's just scrambling.
Just perfect, really. The more dissent, the more confusion, the more the flowers that grow in the dark will flourish.
I think the more upheaval, the more light that would come to the dark places.
Not at all. Then they're fighting amongst themselves. They don't see what's going on under their noses, do they? You've wandered around the city today. You've seen what's around. There are quarters of this city that good people of the Water Barons' parties would never set foot in. Who do you think rules those quarters? It's not her.
It's the way of all cities, isn't it?
Indeed. Every city in this continent. There are people that help, facilitate activities and movements between the cities. Far more power than what the Lords Alliance believe they have. You seem to be wishing to tread into that territory, though.
I just needed a bit of a vacation from territory I was in, I suppose. Don't want to tread on any toes in the dark.
Wise decision. Well, I shouldn't tread on yours either, then, should I? If you get tired of stumbling around in the dark on your own, please feel free to come back.
Come stumble with me.
We'll make it into some kind of dance.
Yeah. With that,
Then there will
figure
be
sort of
pretty
stands.
pleasant.
Again, still can't see anything from there, but just nods. And quietly just heads over towards the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear, you don't, actually, do you hear the conversation? No.
I
Can you
can
read
kind
lips?
of lip read,
Yeah, you can.
so I can probably see what the
Roll me perception.
See what the bartender's saying, but probably not see the shadowy folk. 14. God,
14.
that's-
You can basically see the lips are saying, of course, I'll make sure that there's more available next time you're here. Your tab will be settled as normal. That's what you see, the bartender's lips. However, you can also see hand gestures and sort of almost patterns being drawn in the dust on the top of the bar.
thieves' cunts. Sorry, I should have said that on stream. Shit, I don't care.
It don't matter.
Met a dodgy dwow.
I meet
Who'd have thunk it?
I meet a dodgy dwow.
I'm going to sit there for a bit longer.
I mean, that no one else comes
Yeah,
near
no, I
the rest of the time
assumed
there.
nothing was going to happen.
To assume is to make an ass out of you and
Absolutely.
me.
Kill a bit more time there.
Thesto and Valis.
having
I
left.
can imagine Valis actually just sitting there taking selfies, to be honest. Yeah, in front of the guards.
Yeah.
And charge people for photos with the ambassador.
Yeah.
I'm just standing there like, oh dear.
And Valis just
can't
turned into
find,
like anime girl in my head too. Dancing around behind you.
Can't find. I had a thing that had some thieves' cant, but it's things like
You can't find it.
can't find it. But no, it's just things like you know, like what had like so you speak like a sentence where it's like bring this like juice to the front, and that means like poison the blade.
Mm.
It's really good.
I've always thought of thieves' camp like Cockney rhyming slang
Yeah.
in a way.
Using sign language.
Bethesda.
Having left the Lord Baron's estate, manor,
Shack.
house,
Crib.
building with 4 walls and a
Abode.
roof, just gonna head back to the embassy,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. From memory as well, did we split?
We're under attack!
Roll initiative.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I've got
That's a good roll.
1,900 gold pieces here. That was the money that I got from the
No, you haven't split that yet.
gems. We haven't split that yet.
No.
We keep that.
What are you doing, a party fund?
Were we doing a party?
Yeah, I thought we discussed that last time.
Yeah.
So that's why when it's all over, we had like buy a few cartons and.
Remember that time we stopped the giants from destroying the world?
For
For our every yearly reunions when this is over.
For the sake of brevity, I might say that you're all sort of getting back. You're heading back to the embassy after.
No, I was just going to kick it around.
Cool.
Anything
All right.
particular you're wishing to do?
Don't know, is the casino around?
The casino is
Barge?
at the docks, the barge.
Yeah, I'll go gamble.
You head in there and
It's being a rebel.
heading to the docks. It's very much as you would expect working docks to be. Late afternoon, I'm going to say by now. Just get a bit of time. You see the Grand barge, beautiful, it's gold and red and everything like that. The gangway leading up to it, it's 2 quite burly looking guards and a finely dressed officer, naval officer, looks you up and down. Yes?
I want to do some gambling.
Well, come back when we're open. Change of clothing if you're wishing to come aboard here.
Come on. What gold burning a hole in my pocket?
Is your name on the list?
I don't know.
Flash some cash. Your name?
It's Kit.
Just Kit. No, you're not on the list for this evening.
Well, that's just fucked. I'll walk away.
Roll me history.
I do make a point of putting gold back in my pocket as I do that. I would have waited till I knew it was open. I've been in there before. 20.
Yep, and then you would have also remembered that when you got in last time, you all had to be dressed
Yeah.
immaculately.
Yeah.
And there was a lineup, and I think one of you guys actually had to persuade them to let you on the ship.
Yeah, that was me trying to persuade them.
You needed Valis there.
Anything else you would like to do in town?
I was going to kick rock around the street for a little bit.
Yep.
And then jump the fence to the embassy.
Roll
Round
me
the back.
couple of perception rolls.
But maybe it's till about 6 o'clock too.
It's 27
Mm-hmm.
and 17.
After leaving the casino, you head through around the dock area. It's pretty rough, but not too bad because there's quite a lot of people coming and going. But you do feel the presence of someone following you. You've sort of walking. You head down the street. And when you stop, there's a couple of footsteps.
When I get the sense that someone's following me, I want to make I'm going to do an over-the-top sigh and just turn around and look for them, making no, not trying to be subtle at all.
All you see behind you is a couple of kids playing hoop backwards and forwards. A fella walking through, bustle carrying a big hay bale. Watch Minecraft again.
Carrying hay bales around in Minecraft.
So when you drop off things, anyway, that's about it, really. Sort of nothing.
Do the kids look out of place for the type of part of town we're in?
They look a little bit rapscallion.
They're
But
playing
here's the
hoop-
docks
They're
area.
playing hoop on an even surface. Can't play hoop on uneven surfaces.
Yeah, we'll play it wherever you want, gatekeeper.
And yeah.
Can't play
Legends
hoop here.
play.
Can't play hoop here. It's square territory.
Ooh.
Ooh, I sigh again,
That's
quite
my
audibly,
down ball spot.
Mhm.
and just walk up the
Gothic
nearest
walk, yeah.
building.
You hear the as the hoop lands on the ground. The kids are going.
I flick down a copper piece towards them.
They run over and grab. Thank you, Mister
And then I
Spider-Man.
Lose an arm, you get a gold piece.
and I'm gonna make my way across the rooftops,
Mm-hmm.
quiet and stealthily, like.
Yep, you only encounter a couple of assassins and thieves on the way.
I might.
Doff my cap to you,
Not,
sir.
not here for you, as you were.
Yep. No, you didn't say anything. Yeah, but you're pretty certain now you're not being followed anymore.
Yep, and I'm gonna hop the back fence of the embassy.
Yep, over the garden. Yep. Oi! Planting those bloody vines!
It's tulip season.
You know, next time it's going to be 3 urchins. Because word spread, you hand out money.
See a guy.
Only if I climb a roof do I hand out money. That's what I'm setting up.
Right. Putting that in.
All the kids just watching the roofs.
Because the first quid would have been, he jumped off a roof and then he gave me some money, and these kids would be like, he climbed a roof and then he gave us some money.
It's a weird kind of Santa Claus. They're watching the roofs.
Bloody,
This,
Yeah.
yeah.
this mystical guy who
Or
jumps down
almost-
and throws showers.
You're almost
of coins.
conditioning these kids into watching for roofs in case the roof walker.
They'll give you a name and
I'm
everything.
still going to be a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of Declan's game where there was just a small child who helped us out. My character was chaotic evil, so I just gave him absurd amounts of gold to basically just ruin his perception of currency.
So, as you're jumping over the back fence of the embassy, Otto's just coming in the front, and Thesto and Valis would already be within the embassy, because that's convenient for me.
Hey, convenience.
And yeah, it's getting to.
Oh no, I wanted to go to the cat bar. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
you can do
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding.
I actually thought one of you would, so I planned out something for the.
That was originally where I was going to go, but I went, it might be too nice.
Legendary.
I wasn't sure about the clientele of the cat bar, and I thought it'd be too...
Cat bars.
and it was somewhere I'd
clientele
been before, so I didn't want to go somewhere I'd been before.
The cat bar is very much those who don't fit in anywhere else.
Yeah.
So not necessarily the thief scum or anything else. It's
The oddities.
like the lizard folk, the tabaxi, the things like that are relatively common in other areas, but not here.
Yeah.
So,
What about the Dragonborn? Because I'm still yet to see another one that I haven't merged.
Lick the tap
Yeah.
for you.
The only other one that I've seen, I killed.
That's why there aren't many of you around.
Yeah, we keep fighting. We keep infighting.
yeah. So yes, you're all at the embassy.
Yeah, I'm gonna head in.
Yep.
Through the back, make it look like I've been out in my room the whole time.
Oh, hello, sir. Didn't know you were still out. Can't remember Justin's voice. Julian's voice. This is what it is.
Julian should be in the fucking kitchen, not out in the backyard.
No, he's out the back. It's the herb garden.
I was just
Gotta keep costs low.
just walking around the grounds,
Since the last build.
You can see there's a small ginkgo tree stuck in the ground back.
getting myself some exercise.
There's a plant out there with like five bits on the leaves and.
It's Susan's favourite.
It's where she gets all her power from.
Proton energy bills.
They keep it calm
so,
down somehow.
Yeah. Beautiful day though.
Yep. Quite lovely.
It's not really day now, though.
Anyway, sorry, sir. Gotta get back to work. No.
You don't need to call me sir.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Sir Kid.
Just Kit. This is fine.
Thank you, Kid.
I head inside.
You can smell. It appears to be a roasting duck with thyme and orange.
Poke my head back outside. Smells lovely, Julian. And then I go back inside.
Thank you, Mr. Kid.
I'd be in the study area,
One of the offices.
the smokers area, not smokers area.
That's out the back of the pub, mate.
Yeah,
It's got chicken wire.
The lounge.
the lounge area,
Yeah,
whatever.
off the dining
Yeah.
hall.
Billiard hall.
Billiard hall. That's
With the wrench.
Yeah, with the wrench. Yeah, I'm just quietly beating Valis' skull in.
Yeah.
No, I would have invited Valis to come in and have some.
A
Drinks.
nightcap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
afternoon delight.
Yep.
Yeah, just having a chat about what we've seen. I'm not sure if Valis would have joined me, but would Valis have joined me in the billiard room?
For a nightcap.
Probably.
Not for a nightcap, for an
Oh.
actual drink.
Afternoon cup.
Alcohol, yes.
Well, we would have had sake, so.
When you arrive, there's a parcel waiting for you. Vals.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. You've a pen. Lovely.
Oh, Ella. Sweet, sweet Ella.
I hope this.
Interesting that name you remember. What?
I hope this will keep you as warm as what the memory of you is warm within my heart.
Oh my god!
That's beautiful. Was that like ad-lib on the spot?
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
right.
I'm fucking smooth as velvet, mate.
Hope this keeps you warm.
Oh, lovely.
As the memory of you is warm within my heart.
I have to remember that line next time I talk to a pretty lady.
I'm the ultimate winner.
No,
I can't
no.
And then you-
believe they
That's why
agreed to
Valis
use
is
the
noting
portal
it
just
down.
to
It's
send
like,
that.
oh, let's-
Yeah.
I know we said it was
Valis-
vital to the mission,
Valis
but
goes
still.
over
It's rat. The whole
It's
thing's
rat. They don't know what's in
it.
What a
No.
great abuse of
And then
power.
he's gonna go, doesn't smell like anything. And he would say, not yet.
Oh dear.
So, Otto, you're just arriving back now as well.
Yeah, I walk in.
The memory of you keeps me warm.
Otto's
Keeps warm within my heart.
Otto's looking quite cheerful compared to the other day. He's quite proud, like he made a thing. Didn't use magic, didn't use whatever. It's like, and he made it. But he's also, I guess, a little bit more humbled and glad he's sort of. He feels better that he's paid off some of the like he's made steps. This is foreign for Otto. It's a weird feeling, but it's good. He feels like it's a good achievement. Yeah. So yeah, Otto's actually looking quite cheerful by comparison to every other day you see him.
So you come into the area with.
Yeah, he just walks in.
Valis.
In that case, you would see Valis putting on his cloak. And, fantastic. To the specifications I ordered.
That's amazing. What happened to your other one?
Well, the blanket.
Yeah, but the blanket was...
Well, yes, I wasn't sure whether that's what we were calling it still.
Well, yes, it's served. Fantastic cape. I mean, look at the styling on this. It matches my, aesthetic.
Oh, the blanket was starting to grow on me.
Yeah. I will.
Anyway, Otto, drink.
Love one. Capital idea.
Yeah. Pour a sake for Otto.
Warmed.
You've got a pretty good cellar.
I think last time we did establish that a shipment of sake had been sent via portal.
Yeah.
Also something else that we probably shouldn't be getting sent through this portal.
Oh, I wonder if other alcohols could be consumed this way. And Otto's like sipping from the little bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
I would assume any liquid could be consumed this way, but this is the way I like sake, so...
Does it come in bigger glasses?
I don't think I've ever seen it in a glass.
How long have I been sitting here? How long have we been back?
Probably about half an hour before Kit would arrive.
Okay, so a little bit...
Surely longer than that.
Oh, yeah, probably about an hour actually. At least an hour or so before Kit would arrive. I'm going to say you meandered back.
Yeah,
Rush.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna walk into the. I'm gonna walk out to the garden area.
And beat Julian.
Oh,
No,
hello, Mr. Ambassador. How are you, sir?
God, how long's he spinning out there?
not too bad. Yeah, he's just out there. He's just out there smoking. Every time when he says,
Well, he's a cook.
I was going to say that's
duck
a
kind
chef.
of cooks
It's
itself.
Just helping out with his garden.
Kind of disclaimers you're going to have
I'm
to
looking
put
for,
your episodes, Reece.
any.
Chefs don't do drugs.
I'm just looking for any troughs for the plants to catch the water or something like that. Something large, flat surface, something to hold liquid in.
Like a saucer, sir.
Yes, but bigger.
Plate.
I guess a plate would work. Yeah. I was
A
thinking
bin lid.
I was thinking bigger, but a plate will work.
Well, no, we've got all manner of plates in here. So it sort of rushes in the kitchen,
You go to
starts
get him
pulling out some
something
big
to drink
serving
from.
platters.
I grab a big serving platter. I'm gonna bring that in to Valis.
I love that the first place you go to get him something to drink out of is the garden to find something that was under a pot.
I wasn't expecting to be under a pot.
Not the kitchen, which is where I thought you were going. Like, no, go to the garden.
Well,
Do we have any pot plant?
I was
holders?
looking for something bigger than a plate. 'Cause-
Do you want me to put anything on that, sir?
no, this is fine.
It's something like that size
Yeah,
with a big pot on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was just the first thing that came to mind. Was
you
like,
return, you return with a serving plate.
So while he's gone,
Mm-hmm.
so the bottle of sake's just sitting there.
Yes.
Start drinking out of the bottle.
How much?
Mm.
All of it.
Oh, like, are you going to the skull? Or
It's
you...
wine, isn't it? Glug, glug, glug.
I mean, it's going to be more bitter than wine, so probably not going to be sculling it.
Psychos reminds me of blood.
No, I'm going very slow. Apparently, it's not a taste I've acquired yet.
Yeah.
oh,
Cool.
stop that! It's not how you're meant to be drunk. Take the bottle, and I'm just going to empty the bottle into the fucking.
I was just sitting here in sheer amusement watching all this unfold.
We
I'm just going to lean over to Otto. This is amusing for me as well.
I mean, I feel like a glass would have been more appropriate.
No, this is the only way to drink sake.
You have strange customs.
I would say the same about you.
I just imagine the entire race, Kuzakara, are just Tabaskis.
Right, he's a throwback. He's a man.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He's fur hardened into scales.
Anyway, my apologies.
Nasty accident.
Dad was a scaly.
I mean,
how are you reacting to all this happening?
Am I back yet? I'm not there yet.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you've been you would have come in
I
just
was just
after.
about to ask. Like, we're drinking without Kit.
You would have come in just after he left outside
Okay.
Oh,
to walk in to see this.
Kit, I'll grab you a, yes. I'll grab another little dish and grab another bottle.
I'm alright, thank you.
Make me a con save.
Probably not.
gotta check that stat sheet.
9.
Cool.
I am immune to poison. And I can't be put to sleep except by magical means. That's why I was just
Dang
like,
you,
oh
Rex.
yeah, I'll drink this strange drink that just arrived.
Yeah, that's right. Cool.
It was a hypnotoad.
We're immune to disease as well in case he puts something diseasey in there.
I need everything. It's a psychic disease.
You still said
Yeah,
it's a disease.
Yeah.
It's a
No, that's
tracking
cool.
potion.
See, you walk into the room to see this happening.
Slow.
Just trying to pick the best angle.
Evening, Kit.
Hi.
Seems like an odd sort of plate.
We'll ask for a bigger one.
I was thinking more glasses though.
Keep telling you, it's not the way to drink sake.
Seems very backwards. You realise plates are for eating off.
Only because that's what the
You
connotation
don't
put to
put
them.
you don't put food into cups.
Did
Does that
you-
make sense?
Did your father
You can
have,
if you want to.
Did your father have
How'd you get on?
different shaped glasses for different alcohols?
Well, yes.
Well, think of it like this. Sake just needs a very wide-lipped vessel. I'm sure you could make it out of glass if you wanted.
But it doesn't really hold the. Like, look, and I just kind of tilt it a little bit and it spills out. I mean, this is a terrible vessel.
Well, you're supposed to put your mouth on that end that you just...
Yes, but
I've seen you
look, I pick up a
I've-
wine glass and sort of, oh, that doesn't spill.
There is no wine glass.
What are you talking about? Valis always has a wine
Yeah,
glass.
true.
There's like 3 or 4 goblets just click to his belt.
Takes it out.
Different occasions.
Bandolier.
Just to say, I never left that glass at the Baron's place.
Oh, he's stolen from the Baron now. Yeah.
Add that to the list. Style.
So yes, Kit, how did you get on? Did the plan?
I think I hit a bit too low.
Oh,
I think I was aiming for like here. Probably hit down here.
Yes, how did denouncing the Baron go?
Well, I met an interesting fellow. Masculine voice?
Not really,
figure.
but hard to tell because
I met
Creature.
an interesting
Individual.
person,
Being.
creature, completely covered, head to toe. Perhaps sensitive to sunlight, some might think.
Oh.
Like what? Vampire?
But I think they were a bit. I think they were a bit too underbelly than what I was.
Is
aiming
that
for.
so? Are they partially responsible for the rumours against the Baron?
No idea.
Hmm.
It's not. You gotta. I mean, I know we're on a deadline, but you got to. It's not something you can just.
Well, no,
Jump straight in.
We did just sort of
Got to dip your toes in the water.
we did just sort of pick a spot and throw a line in.
I imagine that this individual was probably connected to those people that had us move the horse and cart.
Oh, it sounds like you're sounds like you're a shoe-in for this shady business.
Well, yes, I shared a laundry watered drink. It was quite tanniny, I believe was the description.
You sure I can't offer you something more appealing than that?
No, well, look, after walking through some of the lower socio-economical parts of town, and then to come back and just watching you guys throwing alcohol on the ground. Like how much gold was just wasted. I saw a kid with only one arm begging on the streets, and you know it's this the plate. Yeah, as long as you don't waste it, it's fine.
Yes, I'd prefer it if you didn't waste it as well. Nice cut.
Like I know the water baron gave you this place, but she's obviously not looking after the entire town.
Actually,
She
from
wasn't
what you've told me, yes, it doesn't sound like she's doing a very good job if it's that run down.
Well, yeah, there was I mean, what percentage of the city would be? What are the
20% of the city would be in the
Like slums.
the
sort of.
fish area, the fish market, I think they call it.
District.
20% of real estate or 20% of population? 'Cause I bet
Population.
you that's different. Yeah. Yeah.
The district.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, from what I've seen, she's only taking care of those above a certain level of society, which I'm sure
Well,
is
she didn't
pretty
appreciate.
pretty common in most parts.
She had
Yes.
heard some rumours. She had heard that there was, malcontent, and the rumours spread about her. And when I told her directly that people thought she was useless, that did not go down well.
No, it really didn't.
Well, she said she wanted to know things.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I don't think I found someone that can connect Dryland to the descent. I think I found somebody that would probably kill people or have people killed.
Do you think we'd have more luck at the casino? I mean, go from the other end.
I did try to go there just to blow off some steam, but it's part of the escaping reality bender that I was on. But I wasn't dressed appropriately.
Well, perhaps that's the next stop.
But they were already this individual was already suspicious of my behaviour.
Well, maybe that's somewhere I.
So going directly to and dressing up and making a show of things may be too direct. So semi-convince this person because they invited me back again if I ever wanted to dance in the dark, essentially.
Otto was taking a sip of sake and almost like sprays it across the. Right. Are you sure they were after nefarious things or? I've heard about dancing in the dark before.
Oh, that was just a play on the metaphors that were being used during the
I know.
conversation, not verbatim what was discussed.
Oh, I see.
Well, perhaps should I potentially go to the casino?
No one's going to believe you're against the water baron.
No, I didn't mean to suggest that I was against the water baron. More to see whether or not just my being there is
I think
somebody approaches.
any more at this point, particularly today at least, is too much.
Fair.
We may not even have time to resolve this before we need to leave, but we can see what we can do. But if we push too hard, we're gonna break something. But perhaps something should break in this place. Revolution, maybe.
Otto's been like.
That was sort of just an under.
People singing the songs of
Otto's
angry kids.
Otto's been looking for a segue in the conversation. That's good as any. He's like, speaking of breaking things, I made something today, and then realised that probably isn't the best segue. And he's like, but proudly just puts the knife down on the table, and it's very crudely made. Yes, like and then it announces, I made it from a silver dagger.
It's not silvered anymore.
No,
It's just a dagger.
and it's like, I imagine it's the children's drawings of knives.
I look at it.
Otto's like beaming. He's
I
like,
look at it and cock my head a little bit, and then like, you know how like when like a child does something, they're so proud of it, and you sort of look at it like, why? And it's just like that little pat on the back, just sort of, well done.
Let's
Yes.
put it on the cold box.
It's magnetic.
Well, we got to put it above the mantelpiece.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing more fulfilling than crafting something with one's own 2 hands.
Oh, I know, right? And I even got to leave the silver behind.
Except maybe reverence.
Oh, I wouldn't know personally.
Well, I can definitely say that you've done a better job than I probably could.
Oh, thank you. Proudly puts it away.
As you're putting it away,
It's not the medium I work in.
you all hear a scream from outside.
A Susan scream or just a general scream? Be specific.
A female scream.
I'm running anyway.
I'm
I
from
don't
right-
need, I don't
yeah.
need
No, no,
detail.
no. Otto's
I'm running.
moving at speed.
I'm
but
running as well.
Is it a
Running.
young female scream?
Run.
Yep.
It's like
Because it would be
Wave
the difference
the
between
hand.
running and multiple misty steps.
one's just click the boots and
Yeah.
It's at the front of the embassy where you hear the screaming.
Yeah, so I can
Smash
go
that.
It's at the
door.
front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through the...
As you head through and you go to push the doors open, who's in front? Who's
Yes,
the front?
you're the fastest.
Otto wouldn't be
the
too
guy
far
with the
behind.
least amount of strength.
I would like to think that I'd be pretty close behind as well.
Make me a dexterity save, please.
29.
Cool. You manage to just, well, you don't
Just.
manage. You jump backwards as the doors
Can I
fling
run up the door?
in front of you as you see Kolbaz and Sun Shen running into the room and just stop. You need to get out there.
I'm going past him.
I
As
get-
you see,
I just run through.
as you see,
Why? Why?
Otto hasn't stopped to ask why.
Yeah,
No,
still
he's
balancing your
gone.
sake.
you see a woman standing there with dropped what appears to be just a groceries or whatever, just dropped next to her, screaming as looking up as these 2 children
Oh,
sort of spinning in the air, and Susan going like this.
For a moment, I thought you meant 2 children, as in like, yeah, the dragons are back. I got this horrid like, oh
That's
god,
so-
Oh no, it's just my child.
actual children.
It's just my child balancing other children in the air.
Susan, what are you
And
doing?
Esfale behind her trying to stop what's happening.
Otto's not.
And
taking
that's a
any shit.
really good point to stop tonight.
Yeah.
Fucking stunning strike. Bam!
I throw
So-
the serving tray.
Thank you very much, anybody who's watching or
Thanks, Justin.
watching later. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you to everyone who's
Bye.
been through, everyone who's commented. We'll catch you all next time.
You will.